Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heelvsbabyface. Just when you thought Star Trek couldn't fall any lower than it's currently fallen in the last few years with shows like Discovery and Picard's apology tour of the universe, we now have the official Star Trek website promoting communism. Yes, you can't make this shit up. And it's here on the page right now. The Star Trek communist hopes Star Trek can inspire a real revolution. You gotta break the sentences like that, you see. Make sure you get that inflection at the end. Workers of the world unite. You have nothing to lose.
I feel like we've watched enough of this to understand the tenor of what he's going to be saying throughout the rest of the I'm sorry. I paused it and you also paused it, and the result was that it was unpaused. And I apologize for the double pausing. Okay. This man is stupid. Let us unpack why this man is stupid. Houston, Star Trek is communist.
Yeah, and I didn't know that before this first recording of this video.
Oh yeah, we attempted to record this one time and then we failed. But we're going to this is our second attempt, and hopefully it's going to work this time. But it failed the first time, and that's my fault, and I'm sorry. But the point is, Star Trek is communist. Let us look up Star Trek, communist utopia. It's still there because of the previous failure, and this Forbes article is also still there because of the previous failure. Okay, Star Trek is communist. It just is. Like, it actually is. And, like, there's a whole framework of this sort of, like, space communism, of like, Trekonomics, of this idea of, like, what is the utopian vision of communists. And this is the framework. The framework is exactly what is being described by this Trekkie, by this fan of Star Trek in the video. And also on the website.
Right.
But the problem is that Heelvsbabyface, there's a couple of problems. The first problem is that he doesn't recognize this is not the company saying this, right? This is something that is underlying a lot of what's in Star Trek. It is something that was written in intentionally by the original writers. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
But it's not something that Paramount is trying to like build out by any stretch.
Right.
What it is happening is that they have a fanzine on their website. And on the fanzine, someone is talking about the way that and why they like Star Trek, and they're explaining the context of the fiscal implications of the writing of Star Trek, which is a perfectly reasonable thing for a fan of Star Trek to do. But this fucking guy is like, hey man, don't take this explicitly political content and make it political. It's political. Like, it just is political.
Yeah. No, it's been political from the start. I mean, they had like the first like interracial kiss on television, I believe.
Right.
They have had not like gay representation, but like things that are supposed to represent gay people on Star Trek. It's like it's been like socially forward, but also like politically forward since its inception, and it kind of like hides it, like uses allegories of like space adventures.
Right.
To kind of show that, but like that was always the point. Like if you like look any farther than the surface, you could see what it was underneath it.
Yeah, it's not a secret.
Yeah,
I just
and so like, but I feel like there's a lot of this though, where like people are trying to like be like, oh, this thing is like being political now, where it's like, no, it's like always been.
It's always been political.
Yeah.
There's this sort of like obsession with this idea. There's a couple of things that are going on. The first thing that's going on is that Heelvsbabyface is genuinely stupid. That's the first thing that's going on.
Right.
It's worth recognizing that that's just a fact. It's just a reality of what's going on. That's the first thing that's going on. Right. Second thing that's going on is that he is responding to a bunch of things that he doesn't fully understand. Right? Like he's talking about media that he clearly doesn't watch or care about Star Trek, but he feels this obligation to like get mad when people dare defile Star Trek by talking about communism in the context of Star Trek, even though communism and Star Trek are inextricably intertwined. But like, that's part of it. And then there's another part of it where like conservatives feel like all art is conservative. They're reading it from a conservative lens in a way that makes no sense at all. And it's not just the stupids that are doing it. It's the people who are hypothetically like the academic component of the right wing. So here's an example of the book club, which I'm going to put in quotations, from Prager University, which I'm also going to put in quotations because they're not a university. They're not even remotely a university. They are a YouTube channel. Yeah. Okay. And the YouTube channel of Prager University has this book club. And this book club is between Michael Knowles, who works for the Daily Wire for Ben Shapiro, and Dave Rubin, who works for Blaze TV for Glenn Beck. So these two of them are sitting down to discuss 1984, which is written by George Orwell. Now, we have to take a moment, and we have to remind ourselves that George Orwell is, in fact, a socialist, okay? We're going to look up George Orwell, because we're going to come back to this. We will save what we're about to look up. I just started writing George-ism, and it was an accident, and I didn't mean to. I meant to look up George Orwell, and I'm sorry. I looked up Georgism, and it was not intentional. That's a different George. George Orwell, socialist quote. Give me a second. There's a beautiful quote that he makes very, 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 very clear. Very clear. Okay. Here is his quote. So yeah, first of all, he did take part of a revolution. He went to Spain and he literally fought in a revolution with the POUM. The POUM are a libertarian socialist organization. So there's that component. He believed in killing fascists, but also he wrote. I'm going to look up in a different way. Writing for socialism. I looked it up incorrectly.
I thought there's no such thing as a right-wing intellectual. Damn.
Writing. Well, he was right. He is. I mean, like the existence of Michael Knowles talking about 1984 is an explicit yes. It's pretty clear. Give me a moment. I must find this. I apologize that I have not found it yet. But he writes very explicitly that everything he writes was written. Why I write. Yes, here it is. Every line of serious work I have written since 1936 has been written directly or indirectly against totalitarianism and for democratic socialism, as I understand it. This is an entire, this is not a short read that he wrote about socialism, and so too, Animal Farm is very obviously not in favor of Mr. Jones. Okay, like 1984 is not at all in favor. Like it is so abundantly clear that George Orwell was a socialist. He's told us a bazillion times. Okay, he wrote a whole piece about how literally everything he does all of the time is exclusively about socialism. That's the whole point of everything. Okay, he is so fucking clear about it, and this fucker is just like, nah, I'm going to forget about that. So let's watch. Okay, Michael Knowles, the intellectual of the right wing. Please begin this thingy boob. Oh my God, it's not starting. I'll start it.
It's not starting.
It's not starting.
You're not in the party.
I'm not in the party. All right, I'm gonna watch this thing. From 206. We'll just both watch
continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing
so he's explaining how history. He's reading a quote from George Orwell,
in which the party is always right.
And now he's going to
like life on Twitter.
So yes, Dave Rubin is describing
an endless present.
Dave Rubin is trying to link the way that he is being treated by Twitter and how hard it is to be a conservative with 1984, which was written by a socialist. This whole half-hour-long piece where they dissect 1984 is trying to link how, this is right before the election, how you must vote for Trump because Biden is a totalitarian and is the future that the left wing radicals are pushing for. The left wing radicals, that means Joe Biden, the left wing radical Joe Biden. Okay,
I wish.
Yeah, the radical left, right, is responsible for creating the chaos of like that George Orwell was so scared of. Sweetheart, you're fucking wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just stupid. Yeah. I don't know why these people are so unintelligent. It's insanity. And like, this is a whole industry. Being stupid online is a whole industry on the right. They're like, oh, like all of these videos are just exclusively Batwoman battered in the ratings by new shows. Oh, Star Trek website promotes communism. Oh, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier reduced Falcon to a poor black victim. You know, how dare
That's
the
not
Red
even
Skull?
true, though.
Not even true at all. Not even remotely true. I don't know. Clearly, this guy is not watching the show because that is not even remotely
true.
what's going on in the show. I don't want to give spoilers, but okay, he is not the guy in that show who's being reduced to some random fucking idiot. Okay, the Captain America. This is not much of a spoiler. The Captain America replacement guy is a fucking idiot. Okay, Falcon and the Winter Soldier are not the people who are just waltzing around being stupid. That's just not true.
Right, yeah.
They're so mad that like Ta-Nehisi Coates, who's a very well-renowned author, dare defile the Red Skull and talk about him in the context of right-wing politics. How dare he use the Red Skull that he is writing because he is the author of the comic. How dare he use it to describe things that he deems to be bad when, I'm sorry, but let's look up...
Isn't he a Nazi?
The Red Skull?
Isn't he a Nazi? Like, isn't that...
Yeah.
Isn't...
Ta-Nehisi Coates, just for context,
the point?
I'm misspelling Ta-Nehisi. Ta-Nehisi Coates is like a very well-renowned writer who became best known for this writing for The Atlantic, which is about the case for reparations. This is not a guy who's not political. Ta-Nehisi Coates is a political author. When you hire Ta-Nehisi Coates to write something for you, even if it's a comic, it's still going to be a political comic. Why? Because he's a political writer. That's what he fucking does. It's so frustrating.
Like Captain America, like, is a political comic.
Of course it is. The whole point.
Like, that's the point of it, is to be political.
Yes. It's all political. All of this content always was. And they build this entire ideology where they just misinterpret left-wing media because only left-wingers are capable of writing a fucking story. Because literally no one on the right wing has ever written a good story ever other than Fountainhood, which was Ayn Rand, and she's barely even fucking right wing rather. She's a libertarian, and she's a center libertarian, but she's not actually really a right libertarian. She's just basically a center libertarian who doesn't really have she has some anti-communism, but mostly that's anti-Stalinism because she fled the fucking Soviets. So she has, but the vast majority of good writers are just not right-wing. Why? Because to be a good writer, you have to empathize, and right-wingers can't empathize. That's why all good writers are on the left. This is a fact. I'm sorry. Facts don't care about your feelings. All good writers are left-wing. This is a fact.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
These people are stupid. I don't know what to do with them. Can we talk about the red pill for a second? Okay, the red pill. The red pill, hold up, we're looking it up. The red pill from the Matrix, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. The conservatives use this framework of the red pill. You're taking the red pill. I'm gonna, when did you first take the red pill so that you could be a right-winger like me? Because the cool people are the ones who have this dramatically transformed perspective and are gonna become right-wingers and are gonna fall in line with literally every single thing that has ever been thought by the conservative movement. And I'm just gonna take on everything that happened in the 1980s. We just have to keep it exactly the same in perpetuity. No change, ever. No change. Change is bad, right? Those people think they took the fucking red pill.
Wait, Jonah, wait.
I'm ready.
Wait, you forgot to grunt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right-wingers grunt. I don't care if you're going to try to give me like some example of like, oh, but what about Ben Carson? Ben Carson also grunts. He keeps it quiet. His grunts are quiet, but he still grunts. I know you're gonna be like, he's so soft-spoken.
No, he like hides them as like coughs.
He hides them as coughs. He goes, yeah. That is my yes. Anyway, back to the red pill. The red pill is about being a trans woman. Literally.
Yeah.
The Matrix was written by 2 trans women. It's an explicit allegory to transitioning, to being honest about your gender identity. That's what it is. This idea that like all of these people on the far right are gonna be like, oh, I'm red-pilled. Roar! Roar! Right? And they're gonna be like trying to take the red pill for themselves. Fuck you! You're not red-pilled. You are genuinely the most fucking blue-pilled fucking lie. Blech. You know? Blech. That's my view on the subject matter. Blech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's because it's like
we're academics.
Because they also like there's a lot of like this video has like 68,000 views. I'm sure all of those people like, I mean not all of them agree obviously, but like a lot of them like they're just like, oh yeah, and like that's what they learn, and like so they'll watch this video and then they'll talk to other people and like interpret 1984 in that way.
And they're just wrong.
And they're just wrong.
Like people seem to think that you can interpret art however you want. No, you can't. I'm sorry, you can't. No, 1984 is not an argument in defense of Trump. It's just not. It's just not at all. No. You're just wrong. If you read Animal Farm and you're like, hey guys, I think this whole argument is a reason. This whole book, like how all of these animals were being mistreated by Mr. Jones, and then they rebel against Mr. Jones, and then the pigs start acting like Mr. Jones, right? I think that the moral of this story is the pigs should just never have rebelled. They should just kept staying underneath the boot of Mr. Jones. That's the moral of the story. The moral of the story is that, like, actually, okay, we should all just accept the right-wing authoritarianism. That's called fascism, borderline Nazism. We should just accept the authoritarian right and just let them continue to have power in perpetuity. Because how dare we defile the order?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got that out of my system. Thank you for letting me get that out of my system. Yeah.
No, it's ridiculous. Because like even like the Falcon and Winter Soldier clip makes me so mad because like they're really not doing that and trying to not do that. And then you still have people like this that like take the stories about like racism and they're like, oh, they mentioned racism, so like now it's like a left-wing political scheme to like make everyone feel bad. But it's like, no, like if this is a black character and he's like dealing like a person, like he's dealing with racism in America because like that's what's happening like in this universe, but also like in like the world, you know, like that's the point. You can't have the Falcon without like racism because it just like it is. And it's like frustrating that they are like discussing it in the show, but also like he's doing more than that. Like he's like doing like this. It's about so much more than like just that. But of course they can't. They can't do that. They're just like, oh, they said black. They talked about racism. Like, that's bad.
It's just so frustrating that these people are so stupid.
Yeah.
Because I feel entitled to a country. They don't all have to agree with me, but I feel entitled to a country where people accept the facts are facts. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it is a fact that George Orwell is not right-wing. It is a fact. The Matrix is not right-wing. Okay?
No.
It is a fact that Star Trek is not right-wing, has always been political. It is a fact that, like, Captain America, the fucking Red Skull, is a political character.
That's so funny to me.
Yes, you're allowed to politicize the Red Skull. Why? Because it was always political.
Yeah, it's literally a character about like World War II. Like
It's
who's like
supposed to
comes
be
about like
political!
in World War II. That's like on the side of Nazi Germany, and like Captain America is fighting the Nazis in Germany, which is like a political party that started World War. Like,
yeah,
like I don't understand. Like, what do you want?
It's political. These characters,
Oh my god.
these conversations, this artwork is political.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
All right.
Falcon, it's political.
It's political.
It is. You have like it's in,
just
like you
is.
have a black person like taking up the mantle of Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like how is that not political? Right?
These people are just
Like
foolish.
it has to be, and
These
it's
people are
like
just foolish. These
they
people
are. It's
are just
ridiculous.
I feel like we've I know we would love to continue to rant in perpetuity, but I don't feel like that's servicing our audience.
I think we're
I
good.
feel like we've serviced our audience.
I
After
think I
this
get
is
it.
over, I'm going to continue to rant. I must be honest with you, Houston. I'm going to continue to rant.
Okay.
But I don't feel like it needs to be continued to be recorded because I feel like the audience has understood the concern that we are bringing to the front of their mind.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so audience members, if you're watching and you're getting to this point, and someone like brings up the fact that like they're angry about like this media being political, like just like slap them and tell them that
Just
it's always
fucking
ridiculous.
Yeah, no. If
All right,
someone
all
is
right,
stupid, they just
Yeah.
I don't believe that I don't believe that the government should be killing people. It's a general rule of thumb. But these people make me question that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I don't support capital punishment, even if they're stupid.
Oh my
I do
God.
not support eugenics. Go away. I'm not a eugenicist.
Yeah.
Heels versus Babyface. I'm not a eugenicist. Yeah.
No.
I'm not.
But like get educated, please.
Please get educated. Please understand basic shit. It's just not hard. Okay.
Yeah.
Have we finished this rant? I feel like we finished. It's
I
not
think we
really an
finished,
episode.
yeah.
I was about to call it an episode. It's not really an episode. It was mostly just a rant.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got this rant. I have another rant about rent. I have multiple rants about rent. That's elsewhere on the channel. But this one, this rant is now over. You should like and subscribe. We adore you.